So, hi guys, today we are finishing up with our look at the Magna Carta. So far we've done our overview of the Middle Ages, we've done feudalism, we've done the roles of the Roman Catholic Church, and now we are looking at the Magna Carta. We've done slides 1 through 8, so we've looked at the background of the Magna Carta, why it came into being, and how King John was abusing his power, and how that had been a trend since the kings even before him. We've looked at some of the rights that the Magna Carta established, but we didn't get to finish those. So that's what we're going to be doing today with slides 9 through 12. So that is what you are responsible for. And so, yeah, we're just going to be finishing up with those rights as well as the effects of the Magna Carta after it's signed. So picking up with slide 9 in our presentation, we'll see something else so before I jump into slides 9, let's just kind of review what some of the other rights are. It limited the king's power. The king couldn't raise taxes without prior approval. It established this idea of nobody's above the law. And so that's kind of where we are so far. And so another thing that the Magna Carta is going to do is establish this representative assembly. And so a representative assembly is just a fancy way of saying that there's going to be a group of people that represent the causes for other people. They'll meet together, they'll make laws. Again, it's a lot like our Congress does, where they are voted on, there are representatives, they go, they make laws together. This is where we're going to see that start to be set up in England. And so what happens in England is going to very heavily influence us in America, roughly 500 years later, a little bit more, closer to 700, but years. So that's why I don't make y'all do dates. And so finally, the last two rights kind of deal with court. So they are kind of grouped together. And so the first of these last two rights that is established by the Magna Carta is this idea of a due process. And so that means that every citizen will have fair treatment in the court. It doesn't matter if you're wealthy and have a title or if you're a peasant. If you commit a crime, you should get the same process with the court system. And so the last right that is established is this idea of a trial by jury, meaning that there's going to be a group of citizens that come in, they hear your case, and they're going to decide if you are innocent or guilty. And so this way you don't have the government kind of abusing that power. If somebody in the government doesn't like you and you commit a crime or you're accused of a crime, they can't be like, oh yeah, they're guilty because I don't like them. No, that kind of takes them out of the equation and puts the decision, whether you're innocent or guilty, into the hands of these other people who aren't personally involved with you. And so some of the effects of the Magna Carta is that this great council, so this group of representatives, will eventually kind of evolve over time, and they will become what is known as the English Parliament. And so the English Parliament is just England's representative government, and they will become the very first democratic legislative body in Europe. So they'll be the very first group of people that vote on important issues in Europe. So it's kind of a big deal of what the Magna Carta did to set up the European government, because that European government style will end up influencing other government styles throughout the world as we continue through history. Something else that the Magna Carta did is that it will start to weaken the feudal system and the social hierarchy that went along with it. So no longer will we see, the social hierarchy will still be in place, but it's not quite as rigid anymore. Now people have more rights. It doesn't matter where they fall in the social hierarchy. A peasant and a knight get treated the same if something happens. If they get accused of a crime, they're the same. They both have to follow the laws. The knight can't be like, oh, I'm more important in society than this peasant, so I can break laws and get away with it. No, now everybody is fair and equal in the eyes of the government. And so even though the social structure is still there, it's not as heavily influenced or emphasized with the government. And so it'll start to kind of make those social hierarchies less important. And it also, as I've kind of said all throughout, it will impact our own United States Constitution. So in our United States Constitution, we also have this idea of a due process. Everybody is treated equal under the law. They all get the same fair or they're supposed to all get the same fair like process that they go through. They have the option to be tried by a jury. They have the opportunity to like have an attorney. They have the same steps. It doesn't matter if you are the president or if you are like in a lower income level. You still get treated the same under the law. And it also like we also have this idea of a trial by jury as well, both of which were stated in our Constitution that we were going to have as American citizens as some of our rights. So again, that is just kind of our brief overview of the Magna Carta, talking about how it impacts us today with our own government, and how this was set up. I said 1066, this was when William the Conqueror came into play, and that's when we start seeing these things come into place, like the chain of events starts. So it's been over 1,000 years, so this stuff still definitely does impact us today. But anyway, that's it for the Magna Carta. Next week we'll study what I think are the two coolest things about the Middle Ages, and so that is why I saved them for last. And so yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. I love you so much, and I hope you guys stay safe through all of this. Bye.